Max has stolen the plate. That's the intro for today's video. The main point of this video is comparing the M240i against the M235i. There's a lot of debating online against both engines, the N55 and the B58. Which one is better? I've owned both cars and driven both and modified them, and Max has been a passenger in both. So the first question we're answering is, Max has been a passenger in both these cars and he's known me for a long time. He's going to be answering which one he felt was faster the first time he experienced both of these engines.
Personally, the N55 was the first one I went in of your two
that's
vehicles.
My first car. A lot of you guys subscribed for the N55 content.
My personal favourite out of the two when it comes to power and the way it felt. N55 is a smaller turbo engine though, no?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yes, that's one thing Max picked up on. The N55 does have a slightly smaller turbo compared to the B58. So in regarding like how that puts power down, my M235i, which you'll see on screen right now, just felt like it went instantly. Whereas this car is kind of a little bit sluggish in the earlier RPMs, and then when the turbo for the B58 kicks in, it kind of feels like you've got a big turbo compared to the N55. So that's kind of one of the main differences I felt driving, and obviously Max is kind of agreeing with that being a passenger.
And with the N55 being one of BMW's loudest inline six engines, maybe loudest engine in their line of engines, it felt faster when you're inside the car.
Yeah, I do agree on that. And we'll talk about noise shortly, because that's another thing people debate all day long, is N55 against the B58 sound-wise, and what one of those sounds better. We've got a crow which is making more noise than my N55 ever did. Who's this? My father's arrived.
This video
That's going to be a bleep.
This video is a shambles. Right, in your opinion, do you think it was an upgrade swapping to the B58 240 over the N55 235?
Yeah, that's a very good point Max has mentioned, because if you follow the social medias, you would have seen that apart from modifications on this car, I spent a lot of time, and Max with me, actually fixing the B58, which is meant to be BMW's bulletproof engine. And it hasn't been issues that have actually broken, it's been preventative maintenance, which Max understands, and I'm sure a lot of you will understand, but people seem to think it's broken, and that isn't the case. Was it an upgrade or a downgrade? I would say, on a power perspective, it is an upgrade, and the fact that if you are doing track use, which both me and Max are doing this year, you don't have to worry about the oil starvation. So it's that peace of mind, but then there are other issues the engine comes with. So that's my perspective, and it was an upgrade for me, and we'll see what Max thinks as an actual passenger in the car.
I've got a very unbiased opinion as I drive a 20-year-old Mark VI Fiesta. A diesel one as well. Being around these high-powered petrol vehicles is a privilege. However, personally, the N55 is my favourite. In general, reason being, heated seats as a passenger. No.
Max is complaining because his car doesn't have heated seats. It's the weight saving, so it's technically faster, not because of the engine, just because they saved a bit of wiring with the heated seats and the button, so it is a lighter car.
Weight saving doesn't matter when I jump in. Anyway.
Need to map the car to stage 2+ to get it to move. So Max knows I map these cars, or I have mapped a lot of my BMWs with MHD, which is a tuning software that you can buy for these BMWs. And when you come to map them, I do agree with, on Max's perspective here, that the B58 is a lot more effortless to make power. It feels like you slap a tune on it and it's ready to go. You don't have to do a single thing to the engine-wise. And everyone knows a downpipe and tune on these things, they're pretty unreal. Regarding the N55, you can still map them to really good power, but it does feel like you have to do a few more upgrades, like a downpipe, different spark plugs, you've got to do an intercooler, all those kind of added things. Because the N55 relies on like airflow with an intercooler compared to the charge cooling system that the B58 has, that's why this engine is a little bit more superior when it comes to making power, and it delivers that torque completely differently. It feels like down low in the RPM range, the torque has really got a lot going for it, whereas the N55, in my opinion, I don't know how Max feels about this, it acted more like a naturally aspirated engine where it liked to be revved to actually get up to that kind of power level.
I agree. We'd be in first gear, all the way down your road up until about 6k RPM before he'd shift gears. Yeah, it was addictive car to kind of redline, whereas I don't really bring this thing up as much because it doesn't make that power the same way that the N55 does. And that does move us on actually nicely to sound with these cars, because this is something that a lot of people have asked me, owning both cars, the same kind of car but a different engine, of what one actually sounds best. And before I go any further, hands down, it's the N55. Yeah,
I mean,
there's no debate really, is it?
Like, this sounds like Max's diesel Fiesta. It's got that deep grunting tone, but it doesn't have anything compared to the N55.
I think he's lost his marbles, to be honest with you. This is still a brilliant sounding vehicle.
No, it is. I agree. I do agree. For an inline six that's turboed and that BMW have made, which they're notorious for not making the best sounding inline sixes, compared to some Japanese manufacturers, for example. But regarding sound, the N55 is winning it for me. There'll be a clip on screen of what mine sounded like, and I think Max enjoyed being in this car to hear it too.
Track experience.
Track experience. Max has got the list here so I don't actually forget, because this topic would be
It's a lot of things to talk about in this video.
Oh, that's Brian.
Get him over here, go on.
This is Brian. He likes my dad. While Max is stretching his legs, we'll talk about track use. I haven't done as much track use with the 240 that I have done compared to my M235i. I did a lot more track use with that. We have got a lot more coming this year regarding track use. We've got new tyres, suspension setups, brakes. It's all coming. So if you want to see that, now would be a brilliant time to subscribe. Apart from that, overall track use, the M240i is a lot more confidence inspiring. I think the reason being, whenever I took the M235i on track, I had that kind of fear in the back of my mind about the oil starvation. Even though it never happened and I always overfilled it slightly, it was always kind of there that, oh, I don't want to take this corner too fast in case it happened. Whereas this, I feel like I can hop in the car, drive it, and as long as I don't put it in a wall, I don't really have anything to worry about, so to speak. So track use, I would say I'm looking forward to doing a lot more in this car, because I won't be as nervous or kind of worried about the engine on track.
Takes me back to the Nürburgring where we did a lap on the ring, pulled into the car park, and Ethan popped his bonnet, asked me to listen out for rod knock, and I tapped my ring on the engine cover. I've never seen someone's face drop.
Me and Max weren't friends that day. We did a few laps on the ring, and we overfilled the oil. We were all excited, and then me being paranoid, parked up at the car park after doing a few laps, opened the bonnet, and I was inspecting it, just having a look to see if there was anything going wrong. And then there was Max just at the back of the car making a little noise, and I genuinely got quite worried, and then I realised it was him, and we didn't speak for the rest of the holiday. So this brings me back to a point I mentioned when I was like an N55 fanboy, people like to say, where it was the only engine I liked, and I didn't really like these B58s until I progressed into one. Regarding maintenance and reliability, I did a lot less maintenance-wise to my N55. Now, both the cars, to add, they were on very similar miles, and I did do more miles in the 235. Maintenance-wise, on the N55, I literally did a Mickey Mouse flange and just general oil changes, and I also did a rocker cover gasket because they're prone to leaking. On this, I could list on like 10 fingers of stuff I've done, like new turbos, gaskets, water pump, coolant flange, coolant outlet flange, the lot. And this brings me into a point I mentioned to Max ages ago about the fact that these engines have so many more plastic parts compared to the N55, and that's where things started to go wrong. So for example, the N55 has a lot more metal parts, which when they go through heat cycles, they heat up and they cool down. They're not prone to cracking or having that stress that plastic parts do. Now, given the B58 has a lot more to make it lighter, and also it's cheaper to manufacture, but now this is kind of creeping up on a 10-year-old car, for example. These parts are needing to be replaced.
We learned that yesterday when the thermostat housing cracked in Ethan's hand.
Yeah, we were changing that, as you would have seen on my social medias, as preventative maintenance, because it's winter time, the car doesn't get driven as much as it will do in the summer, and we were preparing ready for like track use so that things don't go wrong. And me and Max spent, it must have been about 12 hours because it ended up leaking. We had to take it off again. Then it kind of crumbles in your hand. I've made short videos on it, so if you want to see them, they are on my Instagram and TikToks, etc. But yeah, regarding maintenance, I've definitely done a lot more on this when it's meant to be the engine that you don't really look after. So Max mentioned a brief point about handling, and it's pretty hard to answer because they're basically the exact same 2 Series. They weigh the same, they're the same basic car apart from engine modifications. The only thing this car has that the 235 didn't have is adaptive suspension. So I've combined that with a Bilstein B6 adaptive dampeners, and they've been really good. And the other modification, which I will be showcasing you guys soon, is we've gone from 19-inch alloys down to 18s. This is purely just because I think the 18s suit the 2 Series shape better than the 19s. The ride quality is better, the steering is a bit stiffer and a bit harder in the corners, which is quite nice. And you can run a kind of meteor tyre on the rear, which is quite handy. So regarding that, they pretty much handle the same. So we'll go for the final verdicts. This isn't like a review on like which one you should buy. It's just general kind of knowledge that I've put together with driving both the cars, and then also Max, who has been a passenger and spent a lot of time in both the cars too. So the final verdict on what one is kind of better, I'll leave that in Max's decision to answer first.
I mean, it's all down to opinion at the end of the day. Some of you may prefer the B58, some of you may prefer the N55. It all kind of depends, but personally, my favourite, don't know if it was because it was the first of the two, but the N55 in the 235i was my personal favourite overall. Just the raw noise that thing would make. I remember going down the private road. You got private road near us. You know, you do a few flybys. You might have seen the clip in the intro to the video, you know, of it going past, but it's incredible. The noise it makes. It is the closest you can get, I think, of any engine that's not in a supercar to sound like a supercar.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the noise is unmatched, and combine that with, you guys would have seen the OG M2 that has an M Performance back box, which I've talked about being the best. In the garage. It's in the garage, the best exhaust system for the N55 I think I've ever heard in person. Yeah. The videos just don't do it justice at all. And my final verdict, I am going to go, after everything I've done to this car, the amount of effort and money I've put into it already, I'm going to go with the B58, which again, I'm feeling sorry for Max because I miss the sound. I miss the sound of the N55. I really do. And like Max says, it's the best engine that BMW have made turbocharged wise and an inline six that I've ever heard in person. But I think what matters to me more is having that kind of peace of mind that the engine isn't going to go as wrong on track or if you're pushing the car hard. That weighs up higher in my mind, to have the peace of mind with the engine. I live in a quiet place, and today every car in the world has gone past. So my final thoughts, I'm going with the B58. I'm not the biggest fan of the sound. It sounds all right, but it's nothing compared to the N55. Power-wise, it's good. It definitely doesn't feel as raw as the N55, like Max was saying. That engine was kind of just, it reminded me very similar to the kind of previous engines that car manufacturers used to make before it all went too techy and modern. It was a very raw and enthusiastic engine, but the peace of mind of taking this on track and not having to worry about oil starvation or any issues like that weighs up more in my mind. So I'm going to go with the B58, but that's just been a short video on both experiences. Maybe in the future we'll get another N55 on the channel, and if it will be in the M2, because you don't have to worry about oil starvation because they've done so much work on that engine. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, you can subscribe. Apart from that, big thank you to Max for giving us an opinion as being a passenger. Maybe one day he'll have a 2 Series like me, or I can see Max in an M140i maybe. No?
No, thank you.
Anyway, you guys can like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and me and Max will see you in the comment section. Apart from that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.